is when they started it. And Fitzgerald's a dynamic person, really intelligent, took every offseason to travel, speaks multiple languages, like a super awesome dude. But like, that's what it's like to be with SiriusXM. You fall into this. So when I left, I said, look, I just want to take 6 months and see what happens on my social if I'm like creating my own content. I gained 1 million followers on Instagram in 6 months. So that's when I was like, I'll come back and do a guest spots once in a while, but I can't be with you anymore. We don't align. Like they do not share content, and that hurts Brady. And I don't really think Brady promotes it a ton either.
Doesn't care.
It's not like in his bio on anything like SiriusXM.
It's probably all about money at that point for him. And he's getting paid more as an analyst. He hasn't stepped into the booth one day. He hasn't put the headsets on one day, and he's going to get paid more than he did his entire playing career.
His first contract as an analyst is more than his entire earnings as an NFL player. That's wild. And he better be good because people are going to have high expectations. I do think he'll be good. I think he'll be prepared. I think what we're seeing right now with the world turning against Tony Romo, it was fun at first to play Ouija board, crystal ball with Tony Romo. I'll never hate on Romo. I love his takes, right? But he's not very prepared. He can't tell you the history of a player. Was their dad an athlete? He can't buy time with tidbits. Yeah. And when you're listening to games, what do you love? You love that tidbit that you're like, ooh, I didn't know that. You know, about where they went to college or something great they've done. Yeah. Romo doesn't go there.
He got away with it his first year. His first year, I'm like, he's predicting everything that's happening.
Yeah, we were like, tell us the lottery winning tickets. Like, what's next?
And then people kind of saw, oh, this is his whole game, you know? Him and Jim Nantz, they have chemistry. I'll admit it. It's just like he needs to be a little bit more the fact that CBS got that mad at him.
So mad at him that they were going to have some sort of an intervention. But Brady will take it to the extreme, you know, and he will be good. There's no doubt about it. And he will be prepared. But it's also awesome to see players having opportunity after their careers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Pat McAfee, to me, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't realize that Pat McAfee was an NFL punter or played football. Like, there's a lot of people who, in, like, the WWE universe, who's like, oh, commentator Pat McAfee, who has his show.
I'm like, he's not a fucking Barstool, he's a punter.
He was a Pro Bowl punter.
He was.
Who also happened to train to be a professional wrestler since he was 11 years old, which I didn't know about until I heard that story and he performed at WrestleMania.
Did you watch him on WrestleMania?
Of course, I was there. Dallas, Texas.
Oh my God,
I loved
you got to go?
And I'm going this year at SoFi Stadium, too.
Oh my God, how was it?
Unbelievable.
He was so much more athletic than people expected.
The backflip, and then for him to do the whole squat jump and then do the suplex to Austin Theory, that blew the roof off the place.
The energy must have been incredible.
And then Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's like the GOAT of professional wrestling from a charismatic standpoint, gets the biggest pop I've ever seen, comes in, drinks a few beers with Pat, Stone Cold Stunner. Pat knew how to sell it completely. He's like, that was the greatest moment of my life. He's like, I don't even care if my wife knows it. Like, that was the greatest moment of my entire life.
I can't believe you were there. What a great event to go to.
I try to go to WrestleMania whenever I can. I grew up,
good to know.
I've been a wrestling fan since I was a little kid. So
you're familiar with Paul Heyman?
Paul Heyman is the greatest mic worker, promo artist. I'll call him a promo artist I've ever seen for someone who's never actually been in a match. And his story
and you've
is
met him in person, correct?
I have once. He is very intimidating.
He's fantastic.
He's fantastic. He's intimidating.
He's a great human, though, and he takes people under his wing through his life that he reaches out to. I got the privilege of meeting him a couple of times and then was able to have dinner with him. And still to this day, like when I'm doing good things, out of nowhere, I'll get a text. And I hear the text, I read it to myself as if he was cutting a promo. And I feel it, like the juice is there because he uses his words. And then he's like, you know, that was really great. You know, you keep doing this thing. And I'm just like, and it just like, it's like a check. Like it's like when you don't have a boss, but the person that just comes down over you and like tells you you're doing the right thing to stay on the path, you're like, so hype for days. He's a monster.
He's probably like Miss Anne.
Such a great dude. So, and also so helpful, like in his community of linking people together. He's introduced me to people that I've been friends with for 10 plus years now, that he just wants the good people he knows to look out for each other. And he has that like fiber in him where he's just like, oh, I think you two should meet. I think you two should meet. Amazing.
And he's as real as they come too. Yeah. So he's not going to BS you if he doesn't think you're worth it.
But like if you hear his voice somewhere in person, like if he's talking to somebody before you walk in to see him, it's like no one else is even talking. You know, you just hear his voice. I feel like it would be like that for me with McAfee right now. If I walked into a restaurant, McAfee was across the room and talking, I would be like, everyone stop breathing. I hear him. He's in this location.
Have you tried to get on his show?
Not yet. I'm waiting till Gumpy comes back.
Yeah.
So what I did was when they were selling the free Gump shirts to get Gumpy back, the import deport situation, I was like, I'm gonna silently buy this shirt. I'm gonna take a bunch of photos in it. I'm gonna post it at 12:01 on a Wednesday. I know their whole interview schedule. I knew that would be a good time. I knew they'd be just coming up on something, and they made a big deal about it. And if there was a moment where all the listeners of McAfee thought Gumpy and I were gonna get married, so I could bring him back. But it's just not that easy, especially with Canada. Or I would have already done it. But then after that, I became close with Gumpy. We watched remotely. We watched Succession together. Just like I check on him weekly, making sure he's still in a good headspace because it's got to be frustrating. But so I'm waiting for Gumpy to come back. And when he flies back to the U.S., I plan to, no matter what I'm doing, drop everything, be at the airport with a bunch of fans, with signs, and just welcome him. Like, make it just this crazy thing. And then I told him, like, whatever he wants to fly to Vegas. Every time he's off, I will sponsor him to take mad trips with me to just welcome him back to the U.S.
And it's so dumb what's happening, too.
He could just go in through the border at Mexico. I keep telling him, but it's not going to work. But it's sad. It's sad. But at least, Pat has him working. He's still doing all the editing. He still does Hammer Down, all the podcasts and everything. So he's still good. But so I'm waiting for that moment. I don't want to burn it yet. I want to be side by side with Gump when it happens.
Well, that'll be a cool reunion then. To be on like your favorite show and have that reunion at the same time. And I'm sure you're welcome on at any time.
I'm sure. And like the guys in the studio, that bit that day was like, it was hearing all of their commentary about me was really, really sweet. And I was like, all right, we're just going to leave this here. And then we're going to keep making it about Gumpy. But like anytime guys on the internet see me posting a photo, like I was with Mikey Overs this weekend, all I get is, does Gumpy know about this? Does Gumpy know about this? I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like May last year. Like, you're still on this. And I still love Gumpy, but there's nothing I can do about it right now.
Yeah. That's great. That's like, of course, he probably, like, he has a phone, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like
we talk regularly.